than an advert which is saying how wonderful this is. And it's so much cheaper to achieve, providing you know what you're doing or the PR people that you represent are. There's an awful lot of PR people in and around London and the South that I've got working totally independent of me, because there's a lot of journalists getting the sack these days and has been for the last couple of years. So I give them clients because they can't afford me, but it gives them an opportunity to make a very good living because they know the business, they know Fleet Street. And with a little bit of help and direction, you teach them to get that message across. And there's 4 or 5 of them who in the last 18 months I've kind of taken under my wing like that are doing extremely well. So get to know the journalists, get to know the media if you can, or if not, employ PR people that do know, and then work closely with them. You know, that in the early days of my relationships, particularly with business, probably the first 6 months, maybe the first year, it's about me teaching them to use the media, to give us the kind of information, to feed us the kind of information which we can then turn into coverage, whether it's press, whether it's television, whether it's radio, and it's worldwide. It really, you know, is common sense. You know, you have the products, you have the businesses, you have the companies. You need to get yourself known and established. You need to impress the people that are potential clients of yours. Using the media through PR is a very, very effective way of doing that. You know, identify a message. You know, that this is the market we want to get across to. Be specific. Our clients are going to be in this range, so they're more likely to read this paper, listen to that program, watch that program. All of these are things that, of course, the PR people themselves should know. And PR is like every other business, it's good, bad, and indifferent. We've never pitched a business in 40-odd years. And the reason I've never pitched a business is because I've never had to, because we get results. People see what you do. The best form of advertising for any PR company is to be getting results. You know, as I say, it changes all the time, which is what makes it interesting. When I first launched Simon Cowell 8 years ago, he was unknown outside of the music industry. Now he's the biggest British star in America by a million miles, and one of the biggest stars on the TV music scene in the world. Initially, that was all about promotion. Coming up with a concept, coming up with an image, Mr. Nasty, which at the time fitted, and also fitted him totally naturally, because he tends to say what he thinks. But the only reason we could get away with that is because this was a man who'd had hit after hit after hit after hit, year in, year out, with records that everybody else said it won't work, it can't work, it doesn't work, and it did. But the early stages were all about promotion. And to go to America, when we first launched American Idol, and be told by Fox, look, you can't come over here, Simon, and tell the Americans that they're crap because you're British and they just won't accept that. So what do? Well, you're not an actor. And if every time you see an act, you have to think, now, what should I say that would please the audience? You can't do it. It doesn't work for you. You've got to be yourself. You've got to take that risk. And the first couple of weeks were quite dodgy, and by the 3rd and 4th week it took off. And for the last 5 years, it's been the biggest program on American television, and one of the biggest ever. This is American Idol, in the history of American television. Back your own judgment. Work with your strengths. That was his strengths. I recognised it. I had the media contacts, so I could build on his strengths. You've got your strengths. You know the strengths of your businesses. You know what makes your business unique. You know what makes your business special. You have to find the most effective way of getting it out there. Use PR. You know, talk to them. Work closely with them. Don't be distant. You know, clients I've worked with over the years have wasted months because we've not been able to work closely with the chairman, with the managing director, with the person that's running the show, because they just don't understand what we need, what is information. what's going on, you know, what you're doing, what's new about what you're doing. Is there anybody interesting that's buying into your product, that's using your product? You know, you've launched a new kitchen range, all right, but it's in the house of this particular person, and this particular person is famous and respected, some people are. So, can we do a deal with you? If we give you a discount, will you mind doing an interview, most of them will say yes, because, you know, like everybody else, money is very, very important to them. So there's all kinds of opportunities and all kinds of deals. It's just recognizing that you know your business. PR people should know the best way of selling your business. And you're all different, and you've all got different needs and different requirements. But the media is there potentially for all of you if you know how to use it and tap into it. And it can make so much difference in terms of success. You know, we launched a whole property development in southern Spain because there's an Irish pension fund that owned it and they employed us. Now, one of the first things I did was one of the charities that I'm a national patron of, a children's charity, I put on a charity golf tournament down there. And I got a lot of my clients and lots of other stars down there. So the public, teams of 3, play with 1 star. Golf is unimportant. Some of them can't even play golf, but they go around and you put on a few gala dinners. I launched it as a one-off 8 years ago. And off the back of that, and having stars there, we generated a vast amount of marketing, PR coverage for that particular company. Because the MD, the chairman, the chief executive, the sales manager, all had their pictures taken with any one of 6, 7, 8 names. Now, I use that not for that week, but for 12 months. Different articles, and all you're saying is, this person there, which in the minds of everybody means, oh, well, they're probably buying properties there. 1 or 2 actually did. We had a wonderful deal. 8 years later, I'm still putting on this event every year. They have built and sold hundreds of very expensive properties. There was 2 golf courses, there's 3 golf courses there now. Plus there's an international football training area where the big clubs go before pre-season training. It all came about from PR. Not 1 penny in advertising. And it's generated millions and millions and millions of pounds worth of coverage from basically a simple concept. And they said to me, what has a charity golf tournament got to do with us developing properties in Spain? Well, just watch and see. You know, this year, the same thing. It's also now filmed by Sky because it's become quite a big event. So my clients get an hour of television, which is shown half a dozen times on Sky all over the world. The sponsors include 3 of my clients, Pimlico Plumbers, who are a plumbing company down in London, as well as a couple of property companies. All of them have benefited from a very simple idea, which basically had very little to do with, as far as they were concerned, what they were trying to do. But it's generated a vast amount of money, of success for them, and continues to. And also at the same time, you know, this year we made £250,000 for the charity, which is the Rhys Daniels Trust. It's a charity that provides accommodation for children, so as when they're seriously ill a long way from home, their parents can stay nearby. They buy flats, develop flats. I know because my daughter had rheumatoid arthritis and had 18 years of hospitals and surgery. How important it is for your parents, your family, to be near when they're seriously ill and frightened a long way from home in hospital. It's a wonderful charity, and they've done extremely well. But my clients have done incredibly well from such a simple idea, which they would never have dreamt of. The PR people should. That's all part of being in PR, to be creative. You know, that's what makes it interesting. You know, this is why I love my business. There's never